The trade war is back. And this time it's not just about economics, it's about national survival. President Donald Trump has just announced a 130% total tariff on Chinese goods, a 100% increase on top of the existing 30%. Effective November 1st or even sooner. Behind the numbers lies something far bigger. Beijing's move to weaponize rare earths, the materials essential for semiconductors, electric vehicles, and defense technology. According to CNN, Trump's decision came after China sent letters to countries around the world declaring they will impose export controls on nearly all critical materials, even some they don't directly produce. This is new economic warfare. Trump didn't see this as a trade dispute. He called it a sinister and hostile move. He said, quote, "China has quietly amassed a monopoly position over rare earths, holding the world captive." And he's right. For years, the Chinese Communist Party has built its global leverage not through military expansion, but through control of supply chains. From the magnets inside your iPhone to the chips powering fighter jets, China wants to be the choke point. But Trump's message is clear. Those days are over. Markets reacted instantly. The Dow dropped 878 points, the S&P down nearly 3%, and Nasdaq over 3.5%. Investors panicked. But Trump supporters see something else, a return to economic realism. Trump is the first US president in decades willing to take short-term market pain to defend long-term sovereignty. Trump even said, "For every element that China monopolized, we have two. I just never used them until now." The United States dominates global software, advanced chips, and aerospace technology, all areas China desperately depends on. And Trump's new plan includes export controls on critical software, a move that could hit Chinese AI and semiconductor ambitions hard. Ironically, Trump was supposed to meet Xi Jinping in 2 weeks at APEC in South Korea. That meeting is now in question. Trump said there is no reason to meet in his Truth Social post, but later on told reporters he is still coming, hinting the meeting would still happen.
Just want to confirm, have you canceled your meeting with President Xi? And
no, I haven't canceled, but I don't know that we're going to have it. But I'm going to be there regardless, so I would assume we might have it. But, they hit the world with something that really is not anything that people are going to do. And
this is classic Trump diplomacy: maximum pressure, minimum predictability. China, meanwhile, has miscalculated again. Economist Kyle Bass said bluntly, "The US holds the trump card. We can remove China from the USD system altogether, and if that ever happens, China's energy and food imports collapse overnight." As Bass noted, China imports 13 million barrels of crude oil, 9 billion cubic feet of LNG, and 40% of its food daily, all paid in US dollars. Miles Yu, Trump's former China advisor, summed it up: "The gloves are off. Again." And while Trump is raising tariffs and calling out China's trade aggression, Beijing is playing its oldest game, pretending to be a cuddly panda and not a poisonous snake. According to the Associated Press, China has just announced it will no longer seek the developing country privileges at the World Trade Organization, a move that Chinese Premier Li Qiang proudly called a boost to global trade fairness. Sounds nice, right? But let's be honest, this is political theater. For years, China enjoyed all the benefits of a developing nation: extra time to implement trade rules, exemptions from strict obligations, and foreign technical aid, all while becoming the world's second largest economy and a lender to the developing world. Now, with Trump's new tariffs and the WTO under pressure, Beijing suddenly says, "Oh, we're giving up these privileges voluntarily." But even the AP notes, it only affects future negotiations, not existing deals. So in practice, nothing changes. China's WTO envoy insisted it's China's own decision. And later on he said, "We will always be a developing country." Wait, what?
Huh?
So you give up benefits, but you still claim the title. That's not a real reform, that's just a PR stunt. And it's not the first time. China also refuses to contribute proportionally to the World Health Organization, still hiding behind its developing label whenever there is money on the table, but calling itself a great power when it wants influence or control. So let's be clear, if you build aircraft carriers, dominate 5G, buy American infrastructure, and hold the world rare earth supply hostage, you're not a developing country. What you are is an authoritarian superpower pretending to be poor to dodge responsibility. Everyone knows that Beijing is doing. It's trying to soften its image right when the world starts waking up to its economic blackmail. So while Trump takes concrete action to defend American industries and national security, China is still busy with its favorite export, propaganda. And this latest reform is nothing more than a headline to distract from the truth that Beijing wants to be a superpower, with the privileges of a developing state, of course. And in 2025, that act is wearing thin. So what we're witnessing isn't just another tariff round. It's a declaration that America will no longer fund its adversary. Trump isn't just fighting for better trade deals. He's signaling to the world that economic dependence on hostile regime is the real national security threat of our century. And perhaps for the first time in decades, Washington is finally treating Beijing not as a competitor, but as what it truly is, a strategic adversary that must be confronted with strength, not appeasement. Because peace through weakness never works, but peace through strength always does. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And remember that freedom is not free.